This is Valley News Live at noon.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Tatum Miller. New at noon, a Grand Forks man is in jail after police discovered various drugs and paraphernalia during a traffic stop. An officer on patrol pulled a car over just after 1:30 Monday morning for a minor traffic violation. According to court documents, the officer suspected the passenger was Ivan Dietz, who has a history of drug possession. The driver gave the officer permission to search the vehicle and a black bag. And court documents say the officer found a meth pipe and a small zipper bag of narcotics packaged for sale. A search of the vehicle turned up multiple other forms of drugs, and Dietz was arrested and faces multiple charges. He was booked into the Grand Forks County Jail. Also new at noon, an intersection was briefly blocked off after a crash in Fargo this morning. According to Pulse Point, first responders were called to 10th Street North and 7th Avenue North for a report of a 3-vehicle crash just before 10 this morning. Our reporter on scene says that one vehicle was able to drive away from the scene while the other 2 were towed. We've reached out to Fargo Police for more information, and we'll be sure to update you as soon as we learn more. Well, as we're heading into this full first week of June, let's see if the weather's on our side with First Alert Storm Team Summer Schnellbach. Hello, Summer.
Hi, Tatum. Yes and no. The weather is maybe not quite so much on our side as we're seeing some scattered showers and the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon. But on the other hand, this is a very typical June weather pattern. So looking at current conditions right now, temperatures range from 59 in Devil's Lake, where we've got a little bit clear skies, to 72 in Fargo and Detroit Lakes. Check out Bemidji, currently 76 degrees. Satellite and radar showing those scattered showers and a line of thunderstorms developing from just south of Fargo all the way up through Roseau. That's currently where we're watching for some of that storm development. So Roseau likely hearing some thunder now with some briefly moderate to heavy rainfall. Same thing through the FM area. Now our severe threat is just off to the east. This area in dark green, that's a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe. Now the light green here is non-severe. However, a couple of the storms that are developing right here could be a little bit on the stronger side. That severity increases off to the east. Tatum, this will also bring some decent rainfall. I know some folks are now asking for the rain to stop. We've had enough throughout the month of May, but this will continue into this afternoon. We'll have a look at the impacts, the timing, and what to expect with that severe threat here in just a couple minutes.
All right, I won't put away my umbrella just yet.
Not quite yet.
Thank you, Summer. A man is in jail and a 5-year-old airlifted for treatment after a crash last night near the Grand Forks Airport. Highway Patrol says an SUV was sitting at a red light at the intersection facing westbound when it was rear-ended by a pickup. The driver of the SUV, a 26-year-old woman, was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, and the passenger is a 5-year-old in a car seat who was airlifted to Fargo with serious injuries. The driver of the pickup, 43-year-old Travis Bell, was arrested for criminal vehicular injury. The man who was the subject of a standoff and manhunt in Wahpeton last Friday is now charged. Nathan Deemer III is charged with terrorizing, preventing arrest, reckless endangerment, and domestic violence. Deemer is accused of assaulting his 14-year-old sister and pointing a gun at her. The SWAT team negotiated with him for 3 hours before he escaped out of the back of the home. He was tracked down and was shot twice with sponge rounds before surrendering. We are now exactly 1 week away from the North Dakota primary, and early voting begins today. Those in the Fargo area can vote from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. today through Saturday at the Fargo Dome, Northview Church, RRVF8 Ag Building, Holiday Inn on 13th, Cass County Courthouse, and the Days Inn in Castleton. People in Grand Forks can vote at the Alara Center today through Friday from 10 to 6 and Saturday from 10 to 2. And now Cass County residents will be able to check on wait times at each of the polling locations before they even leave the house. On your screen is a picture of what the dashboard looks like on the Cass County, North Dakota website. You can see it has wait times on one side, location options on the other. There's also a mobile version. Very cool. Today and tomorrow, candidate forums will be held around the state, giving you a chance to hear from city election candidates before you vote. The Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber of Commerce and RRV Building Industry Association invites candidates to discuss their views on topics like economic development, housing, infrastructure, and more. Today, the 2024 Cass County Commission Candidate Forum will be at Blue Cross Blue Shield of ND from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Tomorrow, we have the Horace City Council Candidate Forum, and that's at the Chamber from 4 to 5:30. President Biden is expected to announce a long-anticipated executive action today on the issue of immigration. It would be his toughest move so far to control the number of migrants coming across the U.S. border with Mexico. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
Earlier this year at the U.S.-Mexico border, President Biden urged Congress to pass a border security bill.
They desperately need more resources, need more agents, more officers, more judges, more equipment in order to secure our border.
Now, after Senate Republicans rejected the measure, Biden is issuing a new executive order. It will allow U.S. immigration officials to deport migrants without processing their asylum claims when the number of illegal border crossings surpasses a specific threshold. Sources tell CBS News that number is likely 2,500 a day, which means it would likely be activated immediately. In May, Border Patrol recorded an average of 3,800 crossings daily.
These administrative actions are not going to solve the situation at the border. They will make a big difference. They will bring a lot of order to the border.
With the presidential election just months away, Republican senators question Biden's motives.
Why did you wait until now if you were serious about doing it? The simple answer is he's not serious.
And the Trump campaign released a statement saying if Joe Biden truly wanted to shut down the border, he could do so with a swipe of the same pen, but he never will. Biden's executive order will likely be challenged in court. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Unaccompanied children are expected to be exempt from the order, which is expected to go into effect after midnight. A downtown Fargo coffee shop owner is speaking out after he says years of nearby construction has greatly slowed down traffic at his business. On the corner of Main Avenue and Broadway sits Bab's Coffee House. Also on that corner is a new Bell Bank building that's been under construction for 2 years now, and it's still going. The owner says due to construction, it's been really difficult for customers to park and enter his shop. They've even had to adjust their hours to close earlier due to decreased traffic.
We usually stay open till 6, but the traffic's, foot traffic's been so bad that we've been shutting down at 5 because there's nowhere to park. People are frustrated because by then all the other places are like Rhombus and then the Tap and all that's opening up.
Bab says they understand the construction companies also have a job to do and there's no hard feelings. Borsham Crane Services, who's working on the project, responded to Bab's frustrations by saying they apologize for any inconvenience caused by the construction and they're just as eager to complete the project so all businesses can get back to normal. You can find this full statement in this story on valleynewslive.com. Well, we have a traffic impact alert for drivers in Fargo today. This morning, 33rd Avenue South, it will be closed to traffic between 42nd Street South and Washington Street South. The closure will allow for storm sewer utility repairs to be completed, and this road is expected to fully reopen by the end of the day, Tuesday, June 11th. We have another traffic impact alert for drivers in Grand Forks. Starting today, 10th Avenue South from South 48th Street through the intersection at South 50th Street will close to traffic for a complete reconstruction of 10th Avenue South. The project is expected to wrap up by early September, weather permitting. Coming up at noon, one local shelter is running out of solutions for their lack of space. We'll have the details. But next year at noon, summer's in with weather to plan your Tuesday.